ever had someone tell you that you were emasculating them? And this is all about a conversation or a talk that you're having with a male. And so I wanted to have this conversation about what's going on about us constantly hearing that and where is it coming from? Why is it happening? And I find that a lot of women don't understand what is it that they're doing, or what is it that you're claiming that they're doing. And I found that a lot of women don't really recognize that that's what they're doing. I think women are being women and living their lives and acting the way they're acting and don't realize that that is what they're doing, or possibly how they're treating men. So I'm Dr. Pamela, Love Doctor, and I'm here to help you, make you sure you continue to subscribe. Go in the link in the description and follow. Make sure you hit the notification bell and let other people know that I'm out here doing what I can to help you find love, get love, and keep love. Okay, so let's talk about that real quick. So I want to first define it. And I wanted to look that up, and I want to read it with more detail than possibly what I would have explained. But I'm going to explain more in detail what you would find if you were to look this up, ladies, to understand what men are truly saying about what is happening out here and why they feel that. And so I think it'd be a great idea to go into that. So let's define what they are referring to understand what it is that you are doing, or to believe, or alleged to be doing. Okay? So emasculating a man means you're undermining or stripping away his sense of masculinity, okay? His identity or his self-worth, especially in ways that challenge his confidence, his leadership, or ability to contribute meaningfully. This can happen through your words, your actions, or a repeated behavior that make a man feel disrespected, powerless, and less value in his role as a man, which i.e. is in his household, or in his romantic relationship, or just in the social dynamics, okay? So that is what is to believe to be emasculating a man. So what are some of those behaviors, so you'll get a better understanding what they feel emasculated? And I think one time my mate said that to me. And I'm like, I'm not emasculating you, because I didn't know what he was talking about, because I never really had that ever come up to me before. Maybe if he had said it another way, I probably, said, okay, yeah, I probably was that. But at the time, I didn't really recognize that was something I was doing, okay? And so I'm going to give you a few of the behaviors that men say that they feel you emasculating them. It could be constantly criticizing, correcting him, mocking him, belittling his efforts, talking over, just really taking over his roles, making comparison to your past mate, or I guess a past relationship, and just using language that questions his manhood. Okay, so what does that mean? Okay, what does that mean? He's saying criticizing or correcting. That means you're doing it in front of others. And so to him, that's emasculating him. When I said you're mocking or belittling him, he think that's about his sexual performance, or you may do it based on his physical strength or his income. And that's what happened in my situation. And I didn't realize that's what was going on. And he said that to me, and I didn't realize that I had did that. And so I think I just made a statement or a comment about income. And it wasn't to belittle him, but he took it that way. Okay, so I had to learn myself what are these, why he felt that way, because we as women, we don't think that way. We're not thinking that's what we're doing. We're just having a conversation. But to him, it's belittling or his efforts, and that wasn't what we do. I don't feel most women do that. I don't even think most women recognize it. So I wanted to have this talk because I want men to understand that most women don't even recognize that this is happening. Okay, so the other one, like when you're talking about taking over roles, you know, he wants to fulfill the role, but you're doing it without his decision, right? And so you're making him feel unneeded. And I get it. Making comparison. A lot of time women do this. We quick to compare our mates to another man and say, as such, the other man did this more than you did this, or you shame him based on the other person. You understand? So we got to watch making those comparisons. And then using language, I'm assuming is words that some women do. You're not a real man. You need to man up. And I don't say those kind of things. And I do that, make sure that I don't say that to my grandson. I make sure that I don't do those kind of things, because he's learning to be a young man. So I don't tell him to man up or be a real man. He's not a man. He's still a child. You understand? So we have to watch that as well as we're talking to our children, and as they grow, don't say those things just because you don't see him doing it the way you think he should be doing it, or he should be doing it the way his father should be doing it. It's not true if he's still under 18, okay? So what happens, you know, when you do that? And that was one of the things I think was important for you to understand what happens and could cause your relationship. And so when that was told to me at one time, I had to step back, because I didn't realize that that's what was happening. Okay, so sometimes men will get emotionally withdrawn, and they'll withdraw because men oftentimes internalize emasculation as a failure, and you know they'll shut down emotionally, or they'll shut up, or they just won't communicate openly. They just retreat, especially from intimacy. And this is my conversation that I've had with this man that said this to me. So I'm giving you some things from that, as well as my learning and understanding, teaching the emasculating. What happened also is resentment. And the resentment can build up over long term. So if you have a long-term relationship, that man will begin to feel unappreciated. You ever had a man that say, they don't feel like you appreciate them? So you didn't know that that's what you were doing. You were emasculating them. You didn't know that. But you were appreciating, but they didn't think they were appreciated, or possibly felt you disrespected them, and they get angry. You ever notice they'll get angry and often silent? And that sometimes that'll lead to the tension. That'll lead to you guys having an explosive argument. So pay attention to that, because that does bring about some of those type of emotions. So you got to really pay attention to it. When they have a loss of desire, that's what happened. They have a loss of desire for you because you have emasculated them, so they don't have any desire or the motivation to be inspired at home, or just be inspired with you. They beginning to have a disinterest in providing or leading. So you pull that away. So now they don't want to provide. They don't want to lead, because you want to be the boss. You know what I mean? You know what you're talking about. So that could happen. Another thing that can happen is that you can really increase a conflict to where they will detach from you. Okay? They don't want to destroy the relationship, but it could destroy the dynamic of your relationship. And it creates a power struggle, right? Because they're feeling disrespected or just emotionally disconnected. So you have to watch how you're increasing your conflict with them and how because they will detach, okay? The other thing, and I'm just going to do one more, is this will happen if they are feeling any form of emasculating. They may no longer feel wanted. And when they don't feel wanted, it's a possibility that they will possibly be involved in infidelity. Just to escape. And in some cases, emasculation leads men to seek validation from someone else. And that's where the affairs come in. And that's where the more hobbies come in. Want to work more. They just feel like they like being a man. And they want to go and feel that. So they'll escape from you and then go to someone else. And you're wondering, why is that happening? And it has a lot to do with your attitude and the things that you're saying and the way you're coming across and how you approaching them and the things that you say, because the things that you say matters within your relationship, and you will cause a disconnect. And here's why, I'm doing the talk about it, is because it matters. It matters because men and women don't realize it. And I said that, just don't realize that they're doing this, that they're emasculating their partner. They don't realize, even, their friends. It's sometimes unintentional. And I said that to you about my situation. I didn't really know that I was doing that, because when we're independent individual, especially when we're not married, and a lot of time it happens within marriages and within these long-term relationships. But when you're independent, you don't realize that you're really engaging in more words because of your independency. But when your tone and your energy make that man feel unnecessary or weak, it just chips away at their foundation of that relationship. And so I really wanted to do this talk so you can understand what men say being emasculated is, and so that you'll have a better approach to being aware of what happens. And there's things that you have to do to prevent it, and so as I'm creating a membership. I'm going to make sure I have a link in the description that you can join, so that I can talk more with helping many of you who may be having this issue in your relationship, not realizing that you thought it was something other, and it's possibly just the way you're talking, your tone, what you're saying, how you're saying it, And so men want to be affirmed of their efforts and of what they're doing. And so as a woman, you have to be more mindful of how they are. But it's so much more that I can help with that to give you solutions. And this is why I'm creating the membership. So just look out for that going on. And I possibly will be doing some challenges going on so that we can get better with sharing our growth and inspire each other within relationships. And so that's why I feel the membership will really, really help you be able to express your thoughts and feelings on things that you're dealing with and going through within relationships. Okay? So I really hope that what we just talked about really truly help you when it comes to that, because that is a conversation that I need to constantly talk about and it really needs to be, given out to others, other women, because I know you're watching another relationship expert, which is a man, telling you, but I, as a woman, is telling you what we are doing to emasculate our men. And so I'm telling you the things that I've experienced and seen, and know that we as women, it's easily can happen. And you don't realize that you're doing it because you are just trying to be a part of a relationship. And sometimes you say things not knowingly that that is what you're doing. So I hope that the information that I gave you will help you. I hope that you would find some understanding within this talk. So thank you for joining me. Make sure that you continue to follow and like and share and stay a part of the Love Dr. Pamela Smith. Now, again, those who are single, remember, just be patient. Love is around the corner. It's always out there waiting for you. Just be patient. If you're already in a relationship, you know how I said it's about peace, joy, and happiness. Okay? All right. We will be back, and I will be back talking more about love, love, love.